Imagine if one day you decide to view everything from a positive perspective. How might that change your life? Let's take, for instance, the story of Jane. Jane was a woman much like any other, yet she was trapped in a whirlwind of negativity and self-doubt. Every day was a struggle, every challenge a mountain too steep to climb. Until one day, Jane had a revelation. She realized that the root of her unhappiness was not her circumstances, but the way she perceived them. She was her own harshest critic, her own worst enemy. So, she made a decision to shift her perspective. She chose to see every event, every occurrence as a blessing, as an opportunity for growth and learning. She chose not to dwell on the negatives, but rather to focus on the positives, to find the silver lining in every cloud. And so, Jane began her journey of self-discovery, fueled by a newfound positivity. What if you decide to be grateful for everything in your life? How might that impact your sense of self-worth? Now let's talk about Jane. Jane decided to embrace gratitude. She started by acknowledging the good in her life. She began to notice the small acts of kindness that she often overlooked. From a stranger's warm smile to a friend's comforting words, she realized these were blessings in disguise. Not only that, but she also celebrated her big wins. Whether it was a promotion at work or a personal achievement, she took the time to appreciate these triumphs. This practice of gratitude allowed her to see her life through a lens of positivity, reinforcing her self-love and self-worth. She found that gratitude was not a one-time thing, but a daily practice. And the more she practiced, the more she found to be grateful for. Jane discovered that gratitude was a powerful tool in cultivating self-love and self-worth. What if you dropped your ego? What if you learned to love yourself for who you are, not what others think of you? This was the question that spurred Jane on her transformative journey. Jane had lived much of her life under the weight of others' expectations, their opinions shaping her self-worth like a potter's hands on clay. Then, one day, she decided to release her ego, to let it float away like a balloon into the sky. She realized that her value wasn't dictated by external validation, but by her own internal acceptance. It was a revelation as profound as it was liberating. Jane decided to love herself from the inside out, to embrace all her quirks and idiosyncrasies, to celebrate her strengths and accept her weaknesses. This was not a one-time decision, but a daily commitment to herself, a vow of self-love that transcended others' perceptions. Dropping her ego, Jane found freedom in loving herself just as she is. What if you became more aware of life around you? What if you lived judgment-free and released yourself from the jail of self-importance? Let's take a walk through Jane's journey of heightened awareness. Jane started to become more present in her daily life. She began to notice the vibrant colors of the trees around her, the diverse sounds of the city that she lived in. The world around her seemed to come alive like never before. She found herself appreciating these simple yet profound experiences, soaking in the beauty of existence. This newfound awareness led Jane to live judgment-free. She let go of the shackles of self-importance, embracing a life of simplicity and acceptance. This released an immense weight off her shoulders, enhancing her self-love and self-worth. Through this journey of awareness, Jane managed to recapture the carefree spirit of her youth. By becoming young and carefree again, Jane discovered a deeper sense of self-love and self-worth. So, what happened when Jane decided to see everything from a positive perspective, to be grateful for everything in her life and to drop her ego? Jane's transformation was nothing short of remarkable. Suddenly, her life was infused with a sense of joy and peace that had been missing before. She found herself basking in the glow of self-love and self-worth, her days filled with happiness. This dramatic shift was not brought about by some external force, but rather from within Jane herself. It was her decision to view life through a lens of positivity, to appreciate the blessings she had, to let go of her ego, and to live without judgment. In doing so, she freed herself from the shackles of self-importance and discovered a whole new world of possibilities. Jane's story shows us that we too can transform our lives by adopting positivity, gratitude, and self-love. So, what if you decide to start your journey today?